Hi, third grade. We have been working hard using our knowledge of skip counting to help us solve multiplication and division facts of 6 and 7. Today, we are going to solve problems using the 6 and 7 times tables, but instead of skip counting, we are going to use the distributive or the commutative property to help us solve. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first problem. Let's look at this first problem. The directions read that each block has a value of 7. That means this is 7, this is 7, this is 7, 7, 7. I can either add up all of these 7s or I can make a multiplication problem. There are 5 7s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 7s. Since there are 5 7s, I can write the multiplication problem 5 times 7, or 5 groups of 7. If I don't know what 5 times 7 equals, I can use the commutative property. The commutative property is when I use the same factors, but they're in different order. So I know I could say 5 times 7, or if I didn't know that, I could switch them around and say 7 times 5. And I know that 5 times 7 equals 35. 7 times 5 equals 35. Same factors, different order. That's the commutative property. 35 equals 35. They're both going to give us the same value, the commutative property. Let's look at the next problem. I can clearly see that I have 6 blocks here and that one of my blocks is white. Using the same information from the first problem, I'm going to say that each block has a value of 7. So I'm going to put 7 in each block. So I know that this multiplication problem would read 6 groups of 7, or 6 times 7. Now, originally, I know that you guys would skip count in order to solve this, but today we're going to use the distributive property. So when we use the distributive property, we break our problem up into 2 smaller problems to help me solve, to 2 smaller facts that are easier for me to solve. So I'm going to make a line right where my shaded and non-shaded blocks are to form 2 separate multiplication problems. I can clearly see now that I have one group of 7 and I have 5 groups of 7. So if I wanted to now write one long equation to solve using the distributive property, I would write 6 times 7 equals, and I would place my 2 new multiplication problems that I broke it up into in parentheses. 1 times 7 plus 5 times 7. And when you use the distributive property, you want to use one of the units. You want to break it up into a 5 because it's easy to multiply by 5s. So in this case, I would say 6 times 7 equals 1 times 7 is 7, and 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 7 equals 35 plus 7 is 42. So I know that 6 times 7 equals 42. I'm going to do the first problem with you. In this case, let's solve 6 times 6. If we don't know our facts, we know that we would skip count to solve this, but let's solve it using the distributive property. I'm first going to draw a tape diagram. And I know that reading this in unit form, it would read 6 groups of 6. I need 6 groups of 6. So I'm going to break this up into 6 groups with 6 in each group because it's 6 groups of 6. And now I'm going to use the distributive property in order to solve. So when I break this up into two separate problems, I'm always going to use a unit of 5 because 5 is an easy fact to count by. So I'm going to make a line right after my 5th unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm now going to make two separate problems. And I see that on this side of my tape diagram, I have 5 groups of 6. And on this side, I have 1 group of 6. So now I'm going to write this as one long equation. I'm going to start with my original problem, which was 6 times 6. And 6 times 6 now equals my two smaller multiplication problems that I broke it up into. 5 times 6 in parentheses plus 1 times 6 in parentheses. 6 times 6 equals, make your carets, 5 times 6. Again, I'm multiplying by 5. That's a lot easier to count by. That equals 30 plus 1 times 6 equals 6. 6 times 6 equals 36. And you solved that using the distributive property. I now want you to complete the rest of this page. This is Module 3 problem set, but I modified it down for you because I want you to draw your own tape diagrams. You are going to show the same work that I showed right here. After completing those first 4, you're then going to flip the page and you're going to complete the back word problem about Robert. You're going to show the same work, same thinking, but since this is a word problem, you're going to need a statement form to answer. When you're ready, you'll pause the video to complete your work, showing all the same examples that I did, and then you'll replay the video to check your answers with mine. Are you ready? Go ahead and pause. Check your work with mine. On this page, since there's so much work, you're going to need to pause the video again to check to make sure your tape diagram, your labeling, and your equation using the distributive property all matches mine. Go ahead and pause. Check your answers to the word problem with mine. In this case, Robert is correct in his thinking because he's using the distributive property to solve. 6 times 8 is the same as thinking 5 times 8 plus 8, or 1 times 8, because I know 1 times 8 equals 8. So Robert just didn't make the second multiplication problem since he knew it would be the same product. So Robert's thinking is correct. You guys did a great job today using both the commutative and the distributive property to solve. Go ahead and look at the board to follow the next step. Bye, guys.